your projects, and I would like to discuss and review some of the updates. I'm not sure if I can go over all of them, but I have asked those of you who have presented, submitted their reports to come and present, so you can learn from each other's work. Okay, so let me do this. I will first. Any questions, comments you have, please. Oh, by the way, one more thing. I got a message from some of you in Vietnam, other country where there was a big major typhoon, and so I did tell them that if typhoon is an issue, you don't need to. You first make sure you are safe. Your safety comes first, and then we can schedule meetings and calls for those people who missed the call today because of typhoon. You will not be marked absent. I will remind my TA to not mark attendance absent for those people who were absent for the emergency reasons. And but looks like from what I heard, I had some of the students from Vietnam. They said that the typhoon is kind of past, so people are back to getting back to normal. So I hope all of you from Vietnam and other places who have been affected by typhoon are online. But still, those of you who don't have power or any other issue, you have the option to schedule a separate meeting with me, and I will be happy to do your group discussions individually. Okay. But looks like from looking at the attendance, we have something like 120 some people online. Uh, so that means most of you are back online, and again, those who are not. Also, I want to recognize some of the members who are joining us from. I've invited some other universities that I have been connected during my China trip, like Nankin University in Tianjin, and also Bristol University. So those of you who are from attending as a audit, we welcome you to participate and learn, and maybe in future you can become more regular core member. Also, I have advised all of you to invite all your colleagues, all your networks to attend, just as the audit member, because this program is will be helpful to everyone, and particularly learn from group projects work done by each of your different members. And going forward, we have few classes left, and I will try to cover a summary of a major focus of sectors of economy and sectors of technology and connection and skills. So, so that we have talked quite a bit about AI, and AI is of course very important, but we also need to make sure we cover the bigger picture of AI and technology. Okay, so let me do this. I will share a few slides to update you, and then after my updates, I will like to invite those members who have submitted their updates to discuss their group projects so that I can give them my feedback, but more importantly, everyone else can learn from each other's work. Okay. Let me share the slides, and then I will. Those of you from Nankai University and Guizhou University, or even Dusi College, I have invited Tsinghua University, Dusi College students that I have talked to when I was there to attend as much as often as possible. So I hope they're online, and I will discuss some of my engagements with them. Okay. So let me share a few slides to just update, and then we'll switch over to. So I will quickly recap for those of you who are brand new, who are attending this program for the first time. Even those people who have been here before, it's good to always recap about the background, where we are and where we are headed. So this program is our global program. We host through Tsinghua University. This program is held twice a year, one in March, spring, and other one in autumn, September, October timeframe. And those of you who are audit member and new members, you are encouraged to attend our future programs starting in March or autumn. But stay connected and learn through the audit program as much as possible. And even those people who are regular members or core member, I would encourage you to attend IED program as often as possible, because every time I teach the program, even I learn, because the subjects we try to cover is very dynamic, it's fast moving, technology, economy, education, skills. These are subjects, they are not fixed, they are not like old system where once you learn, you know enough. Now the things are changing very, very fast, so it's important for you to learn and stay up to date. So I would encourage all of you to attend this program, even who have, I know many of you have are attending multiple times, and I will encourage all of you to attend this program as often as possible, because I think no matter what you study, and in the school, as I've said before, all schools try to do their best. But as you know, I travel all around the world, and one of my personal focus, is to connect with as many universities as possible, because universities are the lifeblood of future economy of any society, any country, because they are where young people go to learn skills. Okay, if universities are not up to speed, then you are hurting thousands of people who go to university, not getting them the right skills, and that's our current problem all over the world. Problem is economy is changing, and changing very fast. Skills are changing, but our education needs to change as fast as the changing technology, changing economy. So that's one of the purpose of this program, is to work with university, help universities, uh, adopt to the new reality of the world economy and technology. At the same time, help students, provide the student an alternate platform. So what you learn from university is okay, but connect with this program, because this program gives you a much more global global knowledge, skills that will build on what you are studying in college or your schools. Okay, so make this as part of your regular education, skill building, to learn from this program as much as possible. Okay, that's the key message for all of you. Okay, so what I want to do today is, because we have not talked for a few weeks, even though you may have attended some of my talks in China, but I wasn't able to communicate with you personally. So I will quickly update this whole program, as I said before, and then I want to have group discussions, group project discussions. But before that, I will provide you some of my feedback on my current visit to China, because there's a lot for all of you to learn. Even I learn when I go there and meet with people. So I wanted to share my learnings with all of you. So you should feel you came to China with me and you learn all these things. Okay. So program review. Okay. So as I said before, this program is all about learning about fast changing technology and technology connections to economy, and building solutions and services and building new skills to apply technology to economy to build solutions. All your projects are focused around these subjects. All of you are working in different part of the sectors of economy, different projects, but they're all related to building solutions for sectors of economy by using innovative tools and technologies. Right. So that's the focus of group project. Group project is a big part of our program, and I'm encouraging, and I will share with you my experience in at Tsinghua University. At Tsinghua University, we have started a college called Dusi College, which is a brand new college, and which is focused on building education interdisciplinary. So multiple departments have connected together to provide interdisciplinary program to students. Okay, and this is very much aligned to my IED program, because that's exactly what I have been promoting. And I'm very glad to see Tsinghua University is building a dedicated college on this subject. So I spent quite a bit of time with Dusi College. I gave 3 lectures to students in the Dusi College. And in the Dusi College, most of the students are new. They are joining the university for the first time. Okay, so they are fresh out of high school, very young, and I feel that that's a perfect platform to help new students learn about the new education system. Because if you stay in university already for 5-10 years, do bachelor's, master, PhD, you are somewhat more focused on a specific subject. Right? The current education system kind of puts you build your focus on a specific subject: engineering, electrical, computer, mechanical, civil, or business, economics. So current education system is very compartmentalized and very subject focused, and we want to change that model. And this is why we start this Dusi College, and the purpose of connecting with the young student, because they are completely green. They have not been exposed to this department or that department, compared to old students who are already somewhat biased towards a given subject, because that's all they have studied. Okay, so they start looking at everything from their curriculum they have studied. These new students, they have not been exposed to other things. They are exposed to all different subjects. So that's very perfect place to start. And I spent quite a bit of time. And I hope several members of Dusi College are online. What I was very impressed, let me tell you, for those of you not at Tsinghua University and attending from the outside, I was extremely impressed with the talent, passion, and hard work of the young students in Dusi College. I gave them a group project like I gave it to you, right? Gave to this group. I gave a group project in the very first lecture. I gave 3 lectures to them. And I gave them a group project just to teach them the discipline about working on group project, discipline about looking at solutions for a specific issue and problem. And in the third class, which was only after a few days, I only stayed at Tsinghua University for I think 8 or 9 days. Yeah. So they came back with their solution, their update. And even though I did not have time to listen to all of their presentations, I kind of rushed them because of the limited time. I was extremely impressed how much work they had done in so little time. Okay. So my message is the young kids are far more motivated, far more driven, far more eager to learn. Okay. So a message to all of you who are not so new, who are in the university and school for a long time, learn from the young student, their motivation, their drive, their hard work. Within few days, and I'm going to connect with them. I'm extremely impressed with them, and I will be working with them also, like I work with IED members. So my key message to this IED students is to learn from the younger students and their motivation, their passion, their vision and drive to work on solutions. And then I found also that the new student in China, they're very far more communicative. They speak much better English than the older student. They speak better English than the faculties. Okay. Even though China is the number one, sorry, Tsinghua is #1 university in China, I am kind of disappointed to see that they still teach classes in Chinese. Okay. They should teach more in international language to get more international students. Okay, they have international students, but to get more competitive students, they need to bring that curriculum to English. And I have reminded the university management and my colleagues, and they're slowly converting. But my key point was faculties or a student, new student, speak far better than their faculty members. Okay, so I was very, very impressed. So I'm very impressed about the new generation of the young kids coming out of China. So anyway, I think I was going to discuss before, but I have discussed this before. I will repeat it again to some of you who are new or even those who are here. This program is all about helping you build new skills for new economy, new world, and learn how to be a student all your life. You need to learn multiple subjects, and you need to learn about solution building, not subject building. Okay. And finally, I think I did not add here, which I have added. Your career is about creating jobs, not seeking job. Okay. So you should not be a job seeker looking for a job, but you should be creating jobs. That's something that I added in my last slide at Tsinghua University, and that was very well received. I got many students. They said that they liked that line the best because I gave them a mission. Your goal should be job creator, not job seeker. Our current education system makes you a job seeker. Okay, we want to change the system from job seeker to job creator by teaching programs like this. Okay, so the group projects you are doing is all about creating jobs, creating skills, building companies. Okay, so or I think you have seen the flyer before. This program is group project, but also we invite speakers. I have many speakers that I've invited to present in my program, but because I was traveling, so it kind of all falling behind, and they all call me, Chris, when can I? But I want to invite them only when they are relevant, because I feel that I can fill a lot of gaps much better than most of those guys, because they are each of the speakers are very specific on a specific subject, which I will bring in the coming weeks, more of them, maybe multiple of them in the same time. But I want you to understand the bigger purpose first, okay? And work on the group project Come back to schedules. Let me remind you about the schedules. Okay. Uh, so this program will end on November 28th. Okay. So that's the deadline for you. The time had changed. Now it's like 9:30, but it became 10:30 because let me tell you why time changes. In America, we have something called daylight saving. Okay, which is, I don't know, it's a nonsense. It's a very uh, confusing, not very convenient. It was created many hundreds of years ago to use sunlight to save electricity. So anyway, that was the purpose, but I think that doesn't make sense anymore because nowadays we work 24 hours. So in March, in a spring, we call them uh, clock forward. We move the clock 1 hour advance. We advance the clock 1 hour. A spring forward, and in November we go 1 hour back. So this is why my time today is now 7 o'clock. It was 8 o'clock just 2 weeks ago. Now changed because we have to bring the clock. So this is why I had to adjust the time for all of you. It used to be 9:30 China time. Now it's 10:30 because we moved the clock backward. So anyway, that's so much about American daylight saving, which is not fun. Congress is the government is trying to hope to do it sooner, but anyway, final group project is due November 30th. Okay, and then in the first week of December, we will schedule all your final group project presentations. So let me discuss the group projects, and I know many of you are working and not even quite clear what is expected when. So, and I've given all of you enough time. Even though many of the group projects we started before the program lectures started, because I wanted you to have a lot of time. But I also know that not everyone has started the group projects early. So I give all of you enough time to catch up and do a good job on group projects. So you have plenty of time. So today I want to see how many of you your updates, how far you have progressed. But ultimately, let me tell you what the goal is. Your final report will have two parts. One will have a Word document which describes all your report uh, as detailed as you can, 40, 50, 60, 70, as many pages as you can add. Okay. But the report must be very, let me recap the group project requirement. Every group project must be very specific about the project focus area. What are you trying to focus on? What problem are you trying to solve? Be very clear what the problem you're trying to solve. Number one. Then describe the problem. Okay? Then describe solutions. Okay? Define the problem, define the details of the problem, and then define, propose, or build. So solutions have different phases. You can explain the solution, you can propose the solution, you can also build the solution. So based on your background, your expertise, you can work on the solution. The depth of the solution will be all based on your own expertise. Okay? If some of you are new, who have not built anything, even proposing solution, learning about the problem, proposing what needs to be done, that's still a good start. But ultimately, the best report is somebody who can also build a prototype. This is the solution. This is but I don't expect many of you have the background or expertise to build prototype and solutions, but even building solutions, proposing solutions is very important, okay? You should study the subject, every subject online as much as possible, okay? Because online has the latest and the greatest information, okay? But your final report must be your own. Don't cut and paste, because I can tell what is your own report, what's your language versus what somebody else's language, what is your finding versus what somebody else is finding. And the reason I'm saying to study as much online, but try to digest, dissect, and make it your own. Let me help you. This is a very big subject. I study every subject online almost every day. Okay, if I go speak somewhere, China or any country on any subject, I will study that subject, about the country, about the region, about the economy as much as possible, right? But I also question, not everything online is quite correct and quite up to date. I have probably done more online study than all of you combined together. Okay. Let me also help you, because this is a very big subject. The field of technology has evolved over the last 40, 50, 60 years. Transistors, computer, internet, IT, and now we are in a new field called AI, right? And there is one point that I want all of you to very clear, and in this program I have talked a lot about AI, why AI is so big and so important, all of you must understand. But maybe one thing that I feel I maybe did not clear, how AI is different from the previous technologies. Okay? I talked about AI because of the data and compute power and algorithm and storage gives us a lot more power to build intelligence. But let me help you. I will try to make it as simple as possible. AI versus other technology. So every technology we have built, computers, cell phone, everything else, as I said before, we call them tools. We tell them what to do, and they are designed to deliver certain functionality. And to do this, we have processor, we have memory, we have hardware, we have software, we have applications. All sorts of technology is embedded in the system. We put all the hardware, software in the computer to do what we want them to do. Give me email, give me PowerPoint, give me Excel, give me this. All are designed based on our hardware, software we have put in the system. And we tell them what computers should do. So this was the traditional IT. Traditional technology was based on hardware, software we built, we programmed them to do certain function, right? And they will do exactly what the program tells them and what you tell them. Okay, AI is completely different. And I will tell you how AI connects with the old technology. AI is not, AI is a field designed to copy human intelligence. Okay, how human intelligence work versus computer intelligence, computers, is quite different. I think I have shared some slides before, but I will recap some of the stuff for you to follow. Human brain or intelligence has three stages. One, we perceive, we look at things, right? Called perception. Then we analyze, and then we take action, right? Perceive, analyze, and take action. That's how human brains work, all human around the world. This brain doesn't have any operating system. They're hardware, software. It's all built by God or some mysterious force. How we work. We perceive things in the nature, we analyze things, and then we take action. That's how human intelligence, human machine works. And that's exactly what we want AI to do, is to copy human intelligence by perception, analysis, and taking action. Completely different than computers, who are designed for a certain function based on certain commands, certain operating systems, certain instructions, right? So for AI to copy human intelligence, for them to perceive, analyze, and take action, what we have done, we have created a new field called AI, where we give them lots and lots of data, okay? And lots of compute power, and lots of algorithm. So lots of data, lots of compute power, lots of algorithm is all about making the AI do what human minds do: perceive, analyze, and act. Okay? Everything in between, you will hear about transformer or GPT, and all these terms is all about field of AI, how to study the data, tons and tons of data, how to group them, how to analyze them, how to make sense out of this. So AI is all about analysis of the data we feed them. It's not about how we run computers. So AI is a field where we feed them lots and lots of information and ask them to analyze and give them output, right? So I want you to understand AI versus other technology, computers and others, right? And everything that you hear, transformer or chat GPT and large language model, chat GPT 3, 4, 5 is all different generations of advancement in collecting data, compute power, algorithm, all be improved all the time to make better decisions, right? But there's one thing, the reason I want you to be very careful about any data that you get from AI, you must look at very objectively. Not everything AI gives you is all 100% correct, because it's all based on certain amount of probability. Compared to computers, it's determined, it's 100% correct, because that's what we told them to do. AI is based on analyzing lots of data, compute power, algorithm, all has a certain degree of probability to give you, and most of the time they give you a lot of good data information, but they're not always 100% correct. I just want you to be careful. So even people like me, when I look at use ChatGPT, I look at multiple sources. I will question ChatGPT myself, give me more, or analyze the data from this side. If you know how to prompt ChatGPT better, you get a much better answer. So my key point to all of you first is understand computer technology versus AI technology, completely different field. Okay? And I think it's very important for people people to have fundamental concept of technology. For you to appreciate technology, you must have the bigger fundamental concept correct. This is why students in high school or college lose interest. They think the math is hard, the physics is hard, engineering is hard. It's not the student's fault. I blame the teachers. They did not explain the subject in the right way. If you explain the subject correctly, everybody can understand any subject. Okay. So we can have more discussion about AI and computers later, but I want you to understand. I had a discussion on the same subject at Tsinghua University with some students. That's why I wanted to clear this with you. And that discussion happened at a very senior level. I was speaking at the Schwarzman College with Schwarzman scholars, and they were kind of a little fuzzy about computers versus AI. But let me also help you how AI and computers coexist or will coexist. Today, there's a mad rush going on building more and more AI, more compute power, more data, more algorithm, right? And who can move faster. Then we realize that large amount of current enterprise work is just still based on our old computing platform, not based on the new AI model. So how do we connect AI to the current enterprise IT or technology? That's a big field, and that's what you see company like NVIDIA building partnership with Intel. Oh, I want to connect GPU and CPU together to look at the workload of what computers do. Okay, so as you can see, most of our day-to-day life is still supported by traditional technology, traditional IT, the laptop, the internet, and the cell phone. Okay, they're not AI. They are traditional IT. Now we are throwing a new field, AI, and making it a god and father of everything else without connecting AI to the current technology platform. Okay, let me help you how this coexists and connects. Every industry will have traditional IT and AI technology coexist and connect. So let's look at this. Let's look at healthcare. Healthcare has big field where you go to doctor, you get tested, all your healthcare data exists into your healthcare data system on traditional IT technology. All our healthcare data is stored in a computer system that knows all of when you were tested, what result was, what doctor said, all are recorded in the system, which is the computer system, right? That's the traditional IT technology. Now where AI can help is to predict your future health based on studying all your past medical test results, right? Mr. X had this blood test, this sugar, this blood pressure. They will look at your history for last 10 years, 20 years, and then compare the data with the history of the medical field. What happens when people have this kind of blood pressure, this kind of sugar, right? Okay, and then they come back with the suggestions. Oh, based on your historical data, you may have a chance to get a stroke or blood pressure or sugar in 2 years, 4 years. So this is field of AI. AI takes all your current IT data and analyzes it and predict the future of your health. And this is where the AI comes into play. Okay. And this is where AI has studied lots and lots of healthcare records, lots and lots of reports and results. Okay. And that connection is true for every field, whether it be manufacturing, finance, or healthcare. So the key message to all of you is going forward, how our current technology, which is based on IT, information technology architecture, based on hardware, software, operating system, will connect and coexist with the future direction of AI. Okay. Uh, I was referring to you about your project report. So when you do reports and do the references, be very mindful. Reference should be new, be objective, studied many reports. Don't cut and paste. Put everything in your own words. Okay, that's the best way to learn, is when you understand, read multiple things, and articulate that into your own words. Okay, that's the best way to learn. All right, so that's enough. Enough. I got digressed about the AI and current technology, but all right. So end of November we will have a final report, and then you would submit your final document. Lots of data, lots of charts, not too wordy, because you want to be as specific. Okay. So I have seen many people write report to fill the report pages. It's not helpful. Just be very factual, very specific. It doesn't need to be 50 pages, it could be only 30 pages. But if it is correctly articulated and lots of data, lots of chart, and then other than the final report, you will also be required to submit your slides for presenting your report in the class. So I expect you to send me 10 to 12 slides of your final report that you will present to the class, what you have done, because class will not read all your report, but I want everyone, every group to come present their report in the class, so that we know the work you have done, but also sharing with all other members. Okay. And then in the mid-December, we will, first week of December, we'll do the group project class presentation. And the mid-December, we'll send out the certificates. Okay. Any questions, comment about the schedule, please ask me in the chat box and I will try to explain, or you can also send me WeChat. So I just want to make sure all of you are clear for the next few weeks. We will do lectures, you continue, but your job is to focus on group project, and you know what is expected. Okay. All right, let me switch gear to my China visit. Okay. First of all, this visit was very hectic. I was there for almost 2 weeks, and but I'm happy that we were very I was involved into many meetings, discussions, conferences. Every single day I was giving 2, 3, 4 talks at different places. I was, at the end of the day, I was so tired because of multiple meetings and multiple talks. But I'm glad that I was able to connect, because I feel that my trip was very productive. Okay. So my first trip, I started with going to Tianjin. Tianjin, we had Tianjin is, for those of you who are not in China, Tianjin is one of the major economic city of China. China is a very big country, but China has 4 big cities: Beijing, Shanghai, Chongqing, and Tianjin. These 4, they're all provinces, but these 4 provinces are directly under the central government from Beijing. Beijing central government connects and runs all these 4 provinces directly. All other provinces are independent. That tells you the region Beijing connects with them, because they are 4 major cities with much more economic importance for the country. Okay. And Tianjin has one of the major center for manufacturing economy, manufacturing industry. Okay. So I was able to connect. There was the Tianjin Forum they host every year. They invite leaders from around the world and discuss multiple subject related technology, economy, environment, all this. And my best experience was connecting with two Nobel laureate. I did not get Nobel Prize. I don't think I will ever get, but that's not the point. But I always admired people who Nobel Prizes are given to people who do something very noble. They don't do it for company. They don't do it for making money. They are doing it for something which is good for society, good for science, good for the world, good for environment, good for people. So you see in the left-hand side, Professor Pierre, he is a French, he is a physicist, and my background, my first degree was in physics. So I'm still deep inside, I'm still a physicist, even though I studied engineering later. So I connected with him very, very well and learned about a lot of his work in the laser physics, which has major implications in the AI technology when we deal with lots and lots of data and quantum computing, where computing power goes up exponentially. So the work that he has done will have a very significant impact in helping quantum computing forward. So I was very pleased to meet him. Then I met Professor Mohan. His focus was in environment, energy, sustainability, climate. That's also a big focus for me. How do we build this AI economy, which requires a lot of energy, but how do we build on green energy so we don't pollute the environment? We want to have a clean air, better environment for people to survive. So that was a very rarely you find two Nobel laureates in one place, and I had a chance to connect with both of them, and we had a very good exchange. And they were very appreciative of my work because they said, Chris, very few people from industry come and do the work you are doing. So I really admire you for. So we were both complementing each other work. Anyway, then I think I've sent you this link. I gave a talk at Nankai University. Nankai is one of the major university in Tianjin, and I was very impressed with their students, their faculty. They have a very unique program for executive MBA, and Professor Zhao is the director, and I was very pleased to meet him. And he came to Nankai from industry. He has worked many years in industry, so I personally like that kind of people who come from industry to teach. Most people in the academia, university are faculty all their life. They never get chance to work in the industry. But somebody who worked in the industry for a long time, he brings a very unique perspective to education. So I encourage all my colleagues in the industry to find time to go teach because they need that industry background. So I would encourage you to take a look, but I will share some detail. This link was mainly the highlights. Okay. Then I met some companies who in Tianjin, they are all about manufacturing economy. So this is a big company who drives a lot of consulting services to A-Brain, the consulting company that I spent some time. I didn't have much time, but I spent a couple hours with them. Then coming back to Tsinghua University, I had multiple engagements. One was Schwarzman Scholars. Schwarzman Scholar Program at Tsinghua University is very unique. You might know Rhodes Scholar at Oxford is a very prestigious program. So this program is very similar to Rhodes Scholar at Oxford. This was started by Schwarzman, Steve Schwarzman from US. He is a venture capital guy. He gave $100 million to Tsinghua University to start a school in his name, focused on building future global leaders, very similar to what Rhodes Scholars for Oxford do, right? So this program is very prestigious, very selective. They get thousands of applications. They only select about 100. And you have to come from the top universities. Like out of 100, 40 of them from US. I think there's a certain number based on Schwarzman funding. He gave 100 million, but he also wanted to make sure we get 40 seats from US. So 40 students are from US, but mostly from the top university, Harvard, Yale, MIT, Stanford. And you have to be within certain age group. I think the age group is uh, less than 30. You need to be 28 to 20, something like that. I don't know, but you have to be young to win the program. And you go through the selective process, and they give you housing, food, money to stay there 1 year, and they teach you all about global economy, global leadership, global technology, and so on. So it is a very prestigious program, and I have connected with Max Landschuh. He is the dean of the school, and June is the academic dean. The two key leaders of the university that I have known for some time, and they had asked me to come and give a talk. So I met when I was at Tsinghua University. I had a meeting with Lan and June, and when I was meeting with them, then when I was coming, and then I bumped into many scholars in their hallway. I had no plan to give a talk, but then the scholars found out that I am from Silicon Valley. I come from the technology industry. So they requested me to come and give a talk to all their scholars. So and I agreed. So I went to give a talk later uh, that week to all the scholars, and I will share with you some of my key messages. These scholars are trained to be global leaders. Okay, so they have a very big sort of expectations from these scholars, right? So I will share with you my discussion with the scholars. So my first message was, the reason I'm sharing with you because I expect each one of you in this program is like a scholar. Each one of you are leader. Each one of you are leaders for yourself, leader for your society, leader for your family. So I'm trying to switch the sportsman scholar program, which is a building global leaders, sharing with you the key message because I think all of us individually should act and have the commitment to be a leader. Okay. So my message was the following: technology is evolving exponentially, but institutions and ethics evolve linearly. So this is a very important message. The message is technology moving so fast that there is a lag between understanding the impact of technology on society. It takes a while for us to understand how the technology will impact us both economically, uh, emotionally, socially. There is a ethically, all have some lag time. So one is exponential, other is linear. So I want you to pay attention. These are very important message for you to understand. And I expect all of you working on the group project to undertake this message and try to apply in your group project. How technology changes and how the impact of society and what's the gap and how do we deal with them, right? Governance, education, cultural system all lag behind. Everything takes time to evolve. Like as you can see in AI, I just gave you an idea how AI is moving so fast and so big news about AI, but we still don't know all and everything about AI. Okay. This morning, I should not say this, but I saw a news where some young person online must have some emotional issue. Use Chat GPT to commit suicide, and Chat GPT provided them all the know-how how to commit suicide. How can you? This is where I get, even though I'm a technologist, but I think that technology must have a guardband that we. How can a chat GPT and AI help somebody commit suicide? Something wrong. Okay. So this is why I try to explain today, purposely for this reason, how AI still has based on probability compared to the old traditional technology systems, right? AI expects you to analyze all the existing data, understand all this algorithm, compute power, and expect they will give you the right answer. Okay, but there's a lot of loopholes that still needs to be filled. Okay, anyway, uh, innovation outpaces regulation, trust, deficit, inequality, and social dislocation. I would like all of you to take a picture of this slide and post it on your in your room. Okay, this is this affects. This message is very, very important for all of us, for our career, for us as a human being, for our society, for our economy, and for the whole world. Okay, so this slide alone, I got so much appreciation from those Schwarzman scholars that they have asked me to come back and give more talks at the Schwarzman Scholar program. So I call them acceleration paradox. So important thing is how much we love technology and how we get excited. We must be cautious and careful about the exponential growth of technology versus linear growth of our social structures. Okay. See what happened. Then I talk about leadership, what the future leaders are supposed to do in light of all the society and all the technology changing. And this is also true for all of us, whether you are Schwarzman scholar or you are leader of your own society, own school, own career. Old leadership was very hierarchical, control, efficiency. I'm your boss. I'm the king. I tell you what to do. Okay, that was old leadership. New leadership is about sense making, empathy, ethical foresight. You can't force people if you don't have your own ethics, if you don't make sense, if you don't care about the other people feeling. Okay. So I say leaders in AI age must integrate science, humanities, and values. Okay. So the new leaders must integrate all these critical pieces as they go forward. So the qualities of 21st century leaders are, I call them moral imagination. Think about building a better world. System thinking, see interconnection, how the pieces all connect. And adaptive intelligence, learn faster than the environment. Okay. So this is the quality of new leaders of 21st century that a program like a Schwarzman Scholar should provide. But again, the reason I'm sharing with all of you, this is not limited to Schwarzman Scholar. It is applicable to all of us, no matter what leadership we do. Okay. Innovation with purpose. Whatever innovation we do, we must be driven for a particular cause. Okay. Efficiency, meaning and impact. AI for climate forecasting, personalized education, purpose-driven innovation. So, framework of innovation should evaluate and regenerate economy, social, environment value together. So, the purpose of innovation should be well articulated, well defined, based on the impact. Anyway, So leadership redefined, innovation redefined, and acceleration paradox. Remember these three words. This will help you. It is not just about Schwartz-based scholars, all applies to all of us. I call ethical frontier. AI is dilemmas, bias, surveillance. So I kind of gave you some example. AI is a lot of good things with a lot of loopholes, a lot of weaknesses in our current system that must be, I call them AI dilemmas. Algorithm decision making challenges fairness and autonomy. So everything today is depend on algorithm. Okay, transformer and large language models, what they do inside. Again, I don't know how many of you are technologists. If you go details, you will find what they do is basically break the pieces of information into tokens and try to connect all the different pieces based on your question you ask. It will go back and search every piece of tokens related to the question from all over the world and bring it to you as quickly and reorganize them. Okay, that's the whole magic of transformer technology and all the different models. They're all about fragmenting data, information, and reconnecting them together. Take the information of the world, break them into pieces, and reconnect them to answer your question. That's all the technology does behind the scene. Okay, all the different models, transformer to large language models and others, all are about taking the world information, dissecting them into pieces, and reconnecting them based on your question you asked. And you expect them to make sure all the reconnection is all correct. Okay, and they are trying to get you the best answer. Okay, and most of the time they are, but don't always put 100% to everything they do. Need for ethical design and principles. Leaders must ensure technology amplifies human dignity and not diminish it. So I am sharing these things because I'm a technologist and I have a lot of respect and value. I understand. At the same time, I'm also questioning, we as a technologist, how do we also become a better human, right? Okay. All right, so I think I gave you a good summary, but the reason I shared with you because number one, I want you to learn about the Schwarzman Scholar Program. I don't know how many of you will get into this because the requirement to get in the program is very, very strict. There are very few people, 100 people from all around the world they select every year. But I was very impressed with the students. They had the scholars, their talent. And now I'm connected with many of them, and I have a regular interaction with them. So I gave you a quick picture. Then Tianjin meeting, when I was in Tianjin, I connected with many companies and at Tsinghua University, I gave you already a brief update of Dusi College. Very, very good program. And I'm going to fully support Dusi College and IEDE program connects very well together. So my goal is to help Dusi College grow, focus on growing their interdisciplinary program, and then eventually connect IED and Dusi program together as we go forward. Okay. But the key message is I was very, very impressed with the young students at Tsinghua University. And in fact, I would like all of you, let me rephrase and be diplomatic. I know all of you are working on group projects for many, many weeks and months. Those kids had only 4 days. They worked through the weekend, evening, nighttime to come up with a full-blown report. I didn't expect them to have a report in 4 days. So my message to all of you, learn from these young kids. Okay? No excuse. I get a lot of this, oh, I can't find her or my members. No excuse. If you don't have a team member, run by yourself. Run your own team. Be one-person group. Go learn. Show me what you can do. Okay? Don't wait for somebody else to to be productive. Everybody controls their own destiny. Okay. Anyway, then I had many other programs at Tsinghua University. I also had a program with Sabri College. Some of you attended. Alumni programs, some of you attended, I believe. I didn't get to interact with you, so I'm in some way I'm trying to make up for my own and not being able to connect with you when I was traveling in China online with students of IEDE. So I'm trying to make up for my own sort of uh, ignorance or not able to fulfill my commitment. Okay, now I also talk to many startups in China. Okay, particularly this is a big list of you cannot read this list of startups I connected in China, particularly Beijing. So I'm going to quickly share with you my feedback on startups in China, and particularly I compared them to Silicon Valley where I live, and I am more involved, and so they were very appreciative of my feedback. So this is the list of startups and VCs people that I connected in just a small group of people, but there are many more. And here is a summary for this class for all of you. Sorry. If you look at the global economy and innovation, right? US and China are the two largest economy of the world. That is no question, nobody can challenge, right? And I had I'm very lucky to be part of both of these economies. Very few people have access and connection that I have with these two large economy of the world at a very, very high level. Okay. So I'm sharing with you very, very unique experience, unique feedback, unique learning for all of you to learn about two largest economies of the world and how they build companies. Okay. Global innovation is driven by two major hubs, China and Silicon Valley. Okay. Nobody comes close. Okay. Both produce world-class startup, unicorns, venture capital. Yet they differ sharply in culture, strategy, and ecosystem design. So I'm going to share with you, those of you, all of you live in an Asian country, other emerging countries. This should be very helpful for you to learn how a startup in US or Silicon Valley different from a startup in China. Okay. This should be a very important learning exercise for all of you. Okay. So China and Silicon Valley have a two different ecosystem. China, policy driven, fast, execution focused, state, corporate investors, rapid scaling. So in short, China's startup systems most of them are funded by the government money. Big difference. Compared to Silicon Valley, startups are funded by private company, private investors, VCs. Big difference. Because the VC system in China is different than the VC system in America, in US. VCs in US have their own money. The large VC, the multi-billion dollar VCs. VCs in China are just arm of government. They are the middleman. They get money of the government to invest in a startup. It's a big difference. Okay. They don't have their own money. They don't have their own expertise. They're kind of middlemen. So it's a VC system in China is very, very the early stage. So my message to them was to grow their own competency, own expertise. And even to get government funding, they need to be more well informed, more better educated. So I had a lot of discussion with the this. Third one is since the money comes from the government, most of the priorities and focus are driven out of the government. Compared to Silicon Valley are driven out of VCs, and Silicon Valley focus is largely long-term innovation, changing the existing system, bigger purposes. China is more short-term, immediate, quick, right? There's a big difference between, because this is a government money, and government is not, people are good people, but they are basically investors, right? So they want you to execute, show result quickly. In Silicon Valley, they don't mind you failing. Silicon Valley in VCs, they invest in 100 company. They expect 90 of the 100 will die, will not be survive. But they only know 10% will survive, and they will do very, very well to make up for the 90 loss. That mindset is not in China. Okay. So they are very limited in their how they approach investment, versus risk taking in Silicon Valley is very high. They don't expect you to succeed. Okay. In China, they expect all of you to succeed. Big difference, right? Okay. You have to show the result. In Silicon Valley, they give you, the VC will give you money. They won't even talk to you for a year, 2 years. But come back after 1 year. Tell me what you have done. Okay. If you need money, if you are struggling, so it's very different. Okay. China, speed is survival. They want you to move fast. Okay. Of course, they work very, very hard, much harder than people in Silicon Valley. They call it 996. They work 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. It's a very hard adapt. They are very execution oriented. Okay, and they change. Silicon Valley is market driven. So other important thing in China, startups and economy is still largely inward focused. They think China is the whole market. They look at China market is their end goal. Silicon Valley company looks at the world as their market. Big difference, right? Risk taking is a very big. Investment is VC, the startup, academia, and so on, right? Okay. I think I covered all these things before in different words. I think I did cover. Yeah, I think Silicon Valley is about. Let's see, global. China is domestic. Growing global influence in fintech, AI, and green technology. The big focus in China, fintech, AI, and green tech. Silicon Valley is a long-term focus. Execution, experimentation defines success. So they want you to, in Silicon Valley, they expect you to experiment different things. Okay. Don't always look for short-term success. So these are some of the differences. But let me, the conclusion, the two innovation culture, both are successfully, but fundamentally different. Silicon Valley driven by ideas and openness. China powered by speed, strategy, and scale. The future of global entrepreneurship will depend on hybrid of both of these models. So I shared with you both model, Silicon Valley and China. The key message is you need to find the kind of middle ground, the hybrid model, which is not too long term, but also not too short term, which is also based on trying new ideas, looking at bigger picture, not just short term. So find the hybrid innovation model, which merges both sides, China model and Silicon Valley model. Okay. Anyway, that is about my discussion with the startup. I'm going to, this is a different discussion about, I gave a talk at the manufacturing key leaders, and because manufacturing is a big part of economy in China. So I was asked to give a talk to some of the people who are leading manufacturing industry and sectors. So I gave a talk at one of the company on this subject, but I will save this thing for another time. I want to spend time with you guys, knowing your, this is a very big subject. This will take me an hour or more than an hour to just discuss about China manufacturing focus. And I will save it for next time. In fact, I hope some of you are working on your group project on this manufacturing. This is too big a subject. I will save it for another time. So let me do this. I'm going to stop sharing my discussion at this time, and I will switch gear to first. I want to know the summary I provided you of my China trip. I hope it will be helpful for your not only group project but also for your bigger career planning as you work through, right? Any comment on the topics I've discussed so far, or I will come back and have discussion later? Let me see. Okay, how long is the leadership training? Let me answer some of the questions. Very good. Does the training have any specific skills training? So Isaac, did you connect with me when I was in China? I didn't hear from you, Isaac.
Yes, Prof. I was in the meetings, but you were busy, so I couldn't reach out. But I was in a meeting online.
You were online, but I somehow as I told you, I did not engage with the IED members online because I was connected with the live students in the program, and I got too engaged with them, so I almost forgot that there are people online. So,
Yeah,
but
Prof.
anyway,
It's okay.
yeah. So, but back to your question, leadership training. It's a 1-year program. The selection process starts sometimes in the later part of the year, and they select, and then they invite you to stay 1 year. They pay you all your expenses. They also pay you for your other pocket money. It's a very good program. Only area that I also got feedback from the students. They were very engaged with my discussion, and their feedback was, Chris, I wish there were more people like you who will come to Schwarzman to give talks like this, because most of the current professors are from academia. They are from the top universities, Harvard, Yale, Stanford, from business school and others, and they talk about leadership and others. So they are all a scholar in their own right, but none of them are from technology industry who can discuss the subject that I discussed about how technology grows exponentially and society changes linearly. So these, you saw my slides. Where that was every slide that I discussed was very well received, and my slides have been shared within Tsinghua faculty, and the dean has called me later. Chris, I would very much like you to give more talks like this to our scholars. The problem is I can do that online, but they don't want me to do on the video. They want me to come live. Live has a very good impact. When I gave a talk, it was a dinner evening. So we had a dinner together, and after quick dinner, we had a talk, and it was very lively. I think that no video talk can replace a live meeting. This is why you saw me when I was at Tsinghua University. I got so connected with the live students that I almost ignored the IED members online. So anyway, I think my advice to you is try to apply if you have opportunity. Only concern I have is they tend to be very selective, and somewhat I would say I don't know all their selection details, but based on what I saw, they were very selective in terms of what school you go to. Most of them were from the top Ivy League schools, a student, right? And they have some, particularly all 40 who came from US, they were all from top university. Then in other part emerging countries, they also have some diversity. They were from different areas, but it's a good program. I would encourage people to apply. And I have agreed to connect with them. Only thing I have not agreed is my format. I cannot. I used to go to China twice a year, but after COVID, I have cut back quite a bit, and I went there after almost a year. And I came back. Going to China is I enjoy my visit. I enjoy the meetings. You saw all my interactions. I was very excited to be there. But when I come back to California, it is the jet lag coming back is very bad. It takes you like I cannot sleep in California time. I go to bed in the morning 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, which is a California evening time. Evening time in California is 9:10. So it's a 16-hour time difference between California and China. So now for the last week and a half, I'm back. I am sleeping in China time. I go to bed I cannot sleep in the night time. I go sleep in the morning and get up late in the afternoon. But I'm trying to change slowly, play as much tennis as possible to get back. But it takes a toll of travel and jet lag and time difference. Then I have many other commitments in Silicon Valley that I need to attend to. Uh, so as much as I like to be there, but I can only go there so often. Now, after my meeting with many companies, many universities, many organizations, I was very well received. I got very positive feedback. They all want me to come there more often, but I will go there at least once a year, not more often, but at least once a year. Schwarzman wants me to spend more time there also, so I don't know. One more, I will update you maybe next lecture. I am also now connected with Korea. Korea has two big companies, LG and Samsung. LG has built a very big global innovation, open innovation research center in Seoul, Korea. And I have talked to them over the phone, and they follow me on my LinkedIn very well. So they want me to join, be advisor for their open innovation lab in Korea. I might go to Korea, Seoul. Seoul and Beijing are only 2-hour flight time, maybe less than 2 hours. So if I go to Seoul in Korea for my engagement with Korea, then I may go to China more often. But I will see my engagement with Seoul and other countries. But anyway, I think any other comments, Isaac or anybody else? The feedback on my discussion with Schwartzman and Tenjin and others. Any other comments? Hope my summary was helpful to all of you, right? All right. Any other comments? Does the training have any specific skills training? No, they don't have. They do not have any. They are trained mainly to be a leader. Okay. And this is my advice to them. They need to. Leaders cannot be just be leader. Leaders also must have a specific skills, right? I know technology, so I can relate technology and connect with leadership. If I did not know technology, if I only talk leadership, it will be very empty. I would not be uh, able to convince or impress other people with just talk about leadership of what. Here, I talk about leadership in terms of technology, economy, skills, right? That has a certain foundation, right? All right, so I think I have done. I wasn't hoping, I wasn't planning to give a this long talk, but I felt that my experience and my feedback I wanted to share with all of you because I feel that my talk gets watched when scholars or in Tianjin or at Tsinghua relates to all of you. And secondly, because I have not talked to all of you online for a few weeks, I wanted to make up for all my lost time and also make up for not acknowledging you online when I was at Tsinghua University. So I was feeling kind of guilty that I did not connect with you guys when I was at Tsinghua University. So to make up for my guilt, I try to give you all these updates. Okay.
Yeah, Prof, I have a comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, Prof, so I asked earlier about the skill because there is this, the recent turn of events before. Most business leaders used to be trained like MBA people, and but then recently we've seen how engineering, let's say engineering people, engineering students, like the likes of the CEO for Google, is an engineer guy. Tesla is engineer. We see even NVIDIA. So we see more of the when the engineers get into leadership positions, they seem to do pretty well comparatively to those coming from the business field or just trained on leaders. That's what I was asking.
That's very true. In fact, the subject is I gave a similar talk to the at Nankai University. They have a executive MBA, and there are a lot of students where, but most of them are from industry. So I encourage them to build more programs like this, which is focused on industry people. Back to your question about the management, technical versus non-technical. The the reason technology is the technology has become so important subject that for a old manager who does not know technology, who only knew business side, he would not be able to function properly in this new economy, a new industry, right? So the old industry, as you know, was, as I said, based on industrial revolution, building, bridges and roads and cars, and it was very people process centric, right? There are a lot of operations, a lot of people, a lot of process. So the managers were trained to improve efficiency at a people level, process level, operation level, right? That was the old management school. Now the industry had changed. Industry is not focused, built on those things are given, but now the industries are driven by technology, AI and technology driving every part of economy, right? So it is very difficult for old-fashioned managers to really understand the challenges and need of the new industry. So this is why there is a big crisis in the management schools all around the world. Um, the MBA program, and I think if some of you are in MBA program, I would highly encourage you to connect MBA with technology. And I'm asking same thing to all business school, build interdisciplinary, connect business and technology together, right? Because business major alone will not be very helpful career long term. Okay. All of you is don't wait for a school to change. Don't wait for teacher to change. Change yourself first. Okay. You control your own destiny. Okay. No matter how society is outside, this program that I'm teaching you or is giving you the global picture, but the most important part of this program is to focus on you, your own capability, own skills, own expertise, using the global knowledge, global network, right? Any other comments, questions? I think I took too much time for, and I kind of maybe made all of you tired listening to my talk, right? Are you guys still awake, or everybody fell asleep? I see
Prof, I
100.
I have another question. Yeah, so Prof, so when you go to China, you got to see the Chinese way of doing things. And when you went to Europe, did you have the opportunity to see the way they also do things compared to the Americas?
Right. Yeah, I think very good question. This is where I find I'm very lucky in many ways. First of all, things I get to do. Uh, I was very lucky to be lived and learn in Silicon Valley all my life. Chance to work with the pioneers of the industry and company who not just build technology, they build companies. Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Google. But in that process, I have traveled all part of the world. And now in my new role, where I'm not, I have another advantage is now I don't work for any big company name. I'm connected with all big companies in different capacity, but I'm not on the payroll of any company. I'm not employee of a company. I have a consulting role, advisory role, different kind of roles, right? Ecosystem role, and I have deliberately taken this role where I do not. What happens if you work for a company and they pay you a salary? You are morally obligated to promote that company technology platform, their strategy, their name all around the world. That's money does to you. Money buys your your commitment to promote their company, right? I have done that part for last 25 years. In last 10 years, I have 5 years. I have I don't need to promote. I've kind of left company payroll because I felt that I don't need to be in somebody payroll. There is a some point in life you only need so much money to be too comfortable, right? Uh, so this gives me a freedom to be very objective. I do not need to promote one company versus other, one country versus other. I can be very impartial, objective, and share. I in the beginning of my program, I was until today, I was a big fan of AI, right? I was telling every one of you, learn AI, learn everything about AI. Today, I also showed you some of the dark side of AI, how you should be careful, how you should be cautious, and not trusting everything you get from the AI, because AI system is by technology is not 100% proof, right? So back to your question, and uh, I'm very well connected with all countries around the world: Europe, Asia, China, Australia, and of course Silicon Valley. So I have also unique advantage of connecting with the countries at a global level. I have a unique advantage of not promoting one company product or technology. So these two things gives me a very unique sort of platform to really express and discuss things in a very objective way. And by objective way, you build credibility. So now I can tell you, when I work for IBM or Intel, I used to go to China or Europe or anywhere else. They will always look at me. I'm an IBM guy, I'm an Intel guy, or I'm a AMD guy, or NVIDIA, or whatever company I work, right? Now they don't look at me as a company guy. They look at me as a global think tank guy. So I get much better recognition for my message. And my message is also very objective. I don't promote any company. I am very objective. Only promotion I do is what's best for humanity, what's best for the world, what's best for everyone, right? Not one company or one product or so on. So I think you're short. You asked me about Europe and Asia and China. Yeah, this is a very big subject. It requires a lot of time, but I can give you a quick summary. US and China, and this is where I find myself very fortunate to be connected on the both poles of the two centers of the world. These two countries are two economic centers. If you are connected with both sides, when very few people have the connection. There are people in US who have a bigger role, but they do not have the same connection in China because they are company people. Okay, some of the discussion I have in China with the Chinese leaders, organizations, I could not do the discussion if I worked for any company. You follow me? Because they would not very comfortable. They will think that I'm trying to promote a company. So these two countries are very unique in terms of their position, in terms of their focus. Europe is also, you asked me about Europe. So historically, if you look back the history of the world and economy, Industrial Revolution 1, 2, all started from Europe, right? Europe had the most brightest scientists, Einstein, Newtons, all those scientists came from Europe. Okay, they created the new economy, from the agriculture economy to industrial economy, was created in Europe because they had the brightest scientists, more educated people. Okay, and that's how they promoted, and then came to US. US took over and built industry, manufacturing, and of course the IT and technologies in the whole paradigm. The current situation of Europe is not very, very bright. Okay, Europe has become, let me see how I can say in a diplomatic way, become slow-paced, too much political, too much focus on regulation, very little focus on innovation. Every week, European government will go file a antitrust against American company. Oh, you need to pay me $20 billion because you did something in our country. That's all. Regulation is okay to a point, but don't do regulation and hurt your own innovation. Okay, go build damn companies. Don't just try to go file case against other companies, other world to get some money. This is just not very intelligent. So the short answer is Europe is somewhat of in a sleepy mode. I hope they wake up. I hope they get their social, political, economic structure better aligned. But I find that Europe also have become fragmented. I am Germany, I am France, I am England. They fight among themselves. tiny countries, and there are too much of ego. Okay, I'm English, I'm not French, I'm German. This just three big economy: France, Germany, and England. Right? They they cannot politically connect. Right? How do you drive innovation when you fight for dumb reasons, right? And waste all your time on nonsense politics. Okay, so uh, but I must say that people, there are still some important things about Europe that I admire. Just said I was in Norway few months, couple months ago. Uh, Country is very rich because of natural resources. People, by and large, they're still very sophisticated, very intelligent, good people. Just they need leadership. They need, and this is where I'm trying to connect with as many of them and help. But they are nowhere close to. China is very hungry and passionate and moving at a fast pace, right? US Silicon Valley is the same, right? Compared to Europe, things are very, stand still and too slow. So I I will do my part, but I think they need to get their political infighting calm down and slow down uh, for Europe to continue to grow. But right now they're going through this kind of social political sort of sit- uh, tough situations where they need to focus on economy, make economy as number one focus. Okay, once you make economy as number one focus, everything becomes secondary. Okay. All right. I think thanks, Daddy. I think I'm glad that you guys. I purposely wanted to share because I felt that what I have learned, even for me, it was a learning. Go when I go to China, it's not just I teach them. I'm always a student. I always My interaction with the Dusi College student was incredibly very exciting. I was very impressed. I came to America and I told some of my friends in US, I found the young kids out of high school incredibly bright and smart, hardworking. I want US kids to be as hungry, as driven. Okay, and I'm reminding all of you in IED program. If you can learn one thing from this program, learn to be hungry, learn to be passionate, learn to be hardworking, learn to focus on your own skills. Okay, everything else becomes simple. I have talked about AI and other stuff, which is all important, but everything subjects are only important if you have the passion and vision and drive. I was incredibly impressed with the Dusi College, and China. I find is very exciting in terms of the best part of China. What I like about the people in China, the every level I interact, very polite, very nice, very hardworking, and uh, very sort of driven. Okay, and I think there's something for everyone to learn from the social system in China. Okay. All right, guys. I think I think today we will not do a group project discussion because I think I took all your time. I felt that it was important for me to share with other. And if I did not share today, I will forget half of the things, right? So it was also important for me to share while some of the experiences are still fresh in my mind. So I didn't want to wait for next week and week after to only share with you half of the story. My memory is still very fresh. Maybe in future I will share with you more. I'm on 11th next week. I'm talking to some Korean companies, open innovation lab in Korea, and I have similar message for them. They have seen. I'm not sure if you guys follow me on the LinkedIn. I post a lot of my message, not as much detail as I talked in the lecture, but I talked the highlights of my trip. I post on my LinkedIn because I have more than 10,000 people follow me LinkedIn. They're all professional network that I worked not only in the Valley but around the world, and I feel obligated to share my learnings with them. So my post in LinkedIn and even with you is simply a desire to share what I learned, my learnings, and make it useful for others, right? So we have few. I will do this. We will do the group discussion next week. Look, we have only 10 minutes or so left. Let's do this. Why don't we have any open discussions? Anyone has about group project or any other topics related to what I said? Or maybe Isaac, you have a team, right? You're running a group project, right? Isaac and Daddy, both of you have a team, right? Isaac,
Yeah.
can you do me fair? Can you do your group project update in 10 minutes?
Okay.
Do
All
you
right,
have
Prof.
if you are ready? Otherwise, we can do it next week. What do you say?
Prof, I don't mind. I can walk us through a quick one of what we intend doing.
And how about Daddy? Are you there? Daddy, can you do it for 10 minutes today or next week? I know both of you have important group projects you're leading, and I wanted simply to you to share so other people who are new in the group project can learn from you, right? How the group projects are done, right? Okay, because many people are still new. This is the first time they're doing group projects, so I want them to learn from more experienced people like you. Okay.
Okay, Prof. Can I share the screen?
Yeah, go ahead. Is it Daddy or is it Isaac?
This is Lady.
Okay, Daddy, go ahead. Let me get some water. But you get your team is online or no?
Yes, I think our leader is here.
Okay, get all your team members and you and teach us all about what you have done. Okay, and for all others, let me give a message. All others who are working on group projects, pay attention to group projects presented today, so you can learn how some other.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Daddy. Go, Daddy. Start with Daddy. Then after that, we'll get Isaac. Daddy, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Prof. So I think I will start. This is our group project, Group 28. So our topics is about AI in healthcare. And we are focusing on the predictive diagnostic using AI for early disease detection from patient data and medical imaging. Okay, so this is our team, only two of us. The leader is Lilith.